So, good morning everyone. I'm Crystal McNaraga in Group 4. I will be the one to tackle about general strain theory. General strain theory or GST is a sociology and criminology theory developed in 1992 by Robert Agnew. The core idea of GST is that people who experience strain or stress become distressed or upset, which may lead to them to commit crime in order to escape. One of the key principles of this theory is emotion as the motivator of crime. The theory was developed to conceptualize the full range of source in society where the strain possibly comes from, which Merton's strain theory does not. The theory also focused on the perspective of goals for status, expectation, and class rather than focusing on money, as Merton theories does. Example of GST is people who use illegal drugs to make them feel better, or student assaulting his peers to end the harassment they cause. So, in short, GST is a criminal theory that suggests that individuals engage in criminal behavior when they experience significant strain or stressors. The theory posits that individuals may escape these strains through various mechanisms, including criminal activity as a way to elevate the negative emotion associated with the strain. GST also highlights the role of strain to motivating individuals to engage in deviant behavior. So ang example diyan ng GST is for example, student kanang gikuan siya sa kanang gibully siya sa kuan sa iyang classroom nya nya ang kana pong harassment mag lead po siya kuan through negative behavior. So GST introduced three main sources of strain such as first is loss of positive stimuli, death of family or friend. So mag-cause ka ba siya kuan loss of positive stimuli niyo. Number two, presentation of negative stimuli, physical and verbal assault. Three, the inability to reach desired goal. Strain theories state that certain strains or stressors increase like the likelihood of crime. These strains lead to negative emotions such as frustration and anger. These emotions create pressure for corrective action, and crime is one of the possible response. Crime may be used to reduce or escape from strain, seek revenge against the source of strain or related targets, or elevate negative emotion. For example, individuals experiencing chronic unemployment may engage in theft or drug selling to obtain money, seek revenge against the person who fired them, or to take illicit drugs in an effort to feel better. So also strain theories purpose that exposure to stressor heightens the probability of criminal behavior, as the resulting negative emotion like frustration and anger generate pressure for correct action, with the crime serving as a potential response to reduce the escape strain, seek revenge, or elevate negative emotion. Then, strain theory developed by Robert Merton in 1940s explained rising crime rates in the USA. It suggests also that the US cultural system was built on the American dream, promoting meritocratic principles and wealth acquisition through education and work. This dominant cultural message emphasized ambition, talent, and hard work as reward. Melton's concept of anomy refers to the imbalance between cultural goals and institutionalized means, leading to unsatisfied aspiration. Strain theory suggests that certain strains increase crime likelihood, such as the inability to achieve goals, loss of positive stimuli, or negative stimuli. So, this sentence explains that Merton's idea of anomy involves a mismatch between societal goals and the approved methods of achieving them, resulting in unfulfilled aspiration, and also heighten the probability of engaging in criminal behavior. Individuals who experience these strains become upset, and they may turn to crime in an effort to cope. Crime may be a way to reduce of escape from strains. For example, individuals may steal the money they want or run away from the parents who abuse them. Crime may be used to seek revenge against the source of strain or related targets. For example, individuals may assault the peers who harass them. Crime is also may be used to elevate negative emotion. For example, individuals may engage in illicit drugs use as an effort to make themselves feel better. Strain theories are among the dominant explanation of crime, and as discussed in this paper, certain strain theories have a major impact on efforts to control crime. All strain theories acknowledge the most individuals to cope with the strains in a legal manner. For example, most of individuals cope with their monetary problem by doing such things as cutting back on expenses, burning money, or working extra hours. It is therefore amical to explain why some individuals engage in criminal coping. After presenting a basic overview of strain theories, it has have been used to explain group differences such as gender difference in crime. Crime causation sociological theories, strain theory. Strain theory suggests that people engage in crime due to stress or upset, escaping or reducing the strain. Example include the violence of homelessness, theft, seeking revenge, or illicit drug use. This behavior can be used to alleviate financial problems or to seek personal satisfaction. This is the major types of strain. Agnew described two general categories of strain that contribute to the crime. First is others prevent you from achieving your goals. This sentence conveys that certain individuals or factors act as an obstacle, hindering or obstructing your progress toward accomplishing your objectives or goals. Second is others take things you value or present you with negative or noxious stimuli. This sentence suggests that external entities or individual may either confiscate things you hold dear or subject you to unpleasant or harmful experiences, possibly creating adverse effects or challenges in your life. While strain may result from failure to achieve a variety of goals, Agnew and others focus on the failure to achieve three related goals. This is money, status or respect, and for adolescent autonomy of adults. Money is a central goal in the United States, promoting hard work and financial success for all. However, many people, particularly poor and middle class individuals, are unable to obtain it through legal channels, leading to strain in illegal activities like theft, drug sales, and prostitution. Studies suggest that one's monetary situation, particularly among the lower class individuals, contributes to increased crime. The desire of masculinity, particularly among young, lower class, and minority males, is a significant factor in crime. Men often attempt to achieve masculinity through crime, coercing others to give them respect. This can lead to a negative demeanor, bailment responses, and assaults to establish a tough reputation. Autonomy, defined as the power over oneself, is a major goal for, for adolescents but is often denied by adults. Delinquency may be a means of asserting autonomy, achieving autonomy, or venting frustration. Negative events and conditions such as child abuse, neglect, criminal discrimination, physical punishment, and negative relation, school experiences, and trace can increase the likelihood of crime.
So I am the reporter number two. So the people in context commit crime skills through the people they associate with social learning theory. So the developed division commit crime through the people. She said to makakommit sila crime sama sa ilang mga gipanguban nga mga amigo like nga na bang nang mga associate na nila nga mga kuan ilang mga ma-adapt ba nga makakommit sila crime ba, and the learning social behavior which purpose to new behavior can be inspired by observing and interacting others states learning to cognitive process that plays in a social context can occur purely through observation and direct instruction. Sa mga nga na ang mga direct instruction nila nga like tuluan sila mga amigo na direct instruction nila ila din ang buhaton nga pag crime ba mo na mag-commit nila na social contract theory. Most people would commit crime if not the controls the society place on individuals through institutions such as schools, workplace, church, and families. Society's responsibilities to maintain certain degrees of equality certainly individuals' life to make rule in place of social control theory. So, most of mga kanang mga kriminal dili na nila mabuhat sa mga public nga lugar like church nga na kay syempre magkuan mo gid magbantay mo sa palibot ni nabay police nga na ba like makakuha sila di sila kay nila mabuhat sa schools church di kay nila mabuhat nga na syempre naman may mga police gud mga tagsa-tagsa nga na and enough enough food to eat children and they left alone at home with their parents work at second jobs at since crime has been planted and under this theory society began to crime if happening various so sama na ka ng manrabaho mo nga pagkatiman yung bata inyo ra ibilin sa balay ba nga na like nanay mahimong crime ana like na moabot nga kidnapon yung bata nga ba like inyong ibilin kaninyong anak na walay nagbantay makidnap din na siya makakreate din na siya crime. Bandawa social learning theory states that the people learn from one another via observation, imitation, and modeling. The theory has often been called a bridge between behaviorist and cognitive learning theories because it combines an attention, memory, motivation. So, tagaan gina nimo siya mga attention good, like dili gina nimo siya pasagdan ra. Like imo gani sa imong ibilin lang sa asa dapat na na magbantay and key concept people through observing others behavior attitude and outcomes of those most human behavior learning and the other learning behavior is outside the home behavior human behavior learning observation through modeling observation of others. So dapat dira kasi imong kagulingon dapat dapo kasi imong mga surrounding mag-observe ka og dapat ba angay maibili ng bata diha og safe ba ka siya og safe ba og dili. And Bandra believe reciprocal determine that is per persons that the world persons behavior cause each other while behaviorism is elementary state that one environment causes of the one behavior. Bindawa, who was studying adolescent addiction, found this to optimistic and so in addition, so si Bandura Colo believes sa reciprocal determination that kanang nag-study po siya sa mga behavior sa mga criminal behavior sa tao muna si Banda and later Bandawa soon considered personally as an interaction between the components and the environment, behavior, and the one physiological process, one's ability to entertain, images, reminds, and the language. So, si Bindawa ko no, nag-study siya mga behavior and language nga iyan na na-determine kung unsa ang mga behavior sa criminal o dili. So, mo na to.
Theories and causes of crimes. Social learning theory has sometimes been called a bridge between behaviorist and cognitive learning theories because its emphasis, attention, memory, and motivation. The theory is referred to Vygotsky's social development theory has and Levi-situated learning, which also emphasized the importance of social learning. Individuals that are observed are called models in society. Children are surrounded by many influential models, such as parents within the family, characters and children of TV, or etc. Within their peer groups and teacher at school, these models provide examples of behavior to observe and imitate, masculine and feminine. Children pay attention to some of those people, models, and encode their behavior. At a later time, they may imitate the behavior they have observed. They may do best regardless of whether the behavior as gender appropriate or not, but there are processes that make it more likely that a child will reproduce the behavior that the society deems appropriate for this gender. First, the child is more likely to attend the initiate those people perceives as similar to itself. Consequently, it is more likely to initiate behavior modeled by people of the same gender. Second, the people around the child will respond to the behavior and initiate with either in the reinforcement or punishment if a child imitate the model's behavior and the consequences are rewarding the child like and continue performing the behavior if parents were seen a little girl who. Second, the people around the children will respond to their behavior is immediate with either reinforcement or punishment. Reinforcement can be external or internal and can be positive or negative. A child wants approval from parents or peers. That approval as in is an external reinforcement, but feeling happy about being approved of an internal reinforcement a child will then behavior in way which it believe will earn approval because it deserve approval positive. And third, the child will also take into account of what happens to other people when deciding whether or not to copy sometimes actions. A person learns by observing the consequences of another person's behavior. A younger sister observing an older sister being rewarded for a particular behavior is more like to repeat that behavior herself. This is known as a vicarious reinforcement. The term identification as used by social learning theory is similar to the Freudian term related to the Oedipus complex. For example, they both involve internalizing or adapting another person's behavior. However, during the Oedipus complex, the child can only identify with the same six parents. Identification is different to imitation. It may involve a number of behavior being adapted, whereas imitation usually involves copying a single behavior. SLT is often described as the bridge between traditional learning theory and the cognitive approach. This because it focuses on how mental factors are involved in learning. Unlike Skinner, Bandura in 1977 believed that humans are active information process and think about the relationship between their behavior and its consequences. Observational learning could not occur unless cognitive process where it exists.
I will be discussing there are four meditational processes proposed by Bandura. Number one is attention awareness. The extent to which we are exposed, notice the behavior. For a behavior to be initiated, it has attention. We observe many behaviors on a daily basis, and many of these are not noteworthy. In order to learn, observe must be attend to the model behavior experimental studies. Ang akong example ani kay nganong nakamaon ang bata nga kinder nga maglipten kay during recess kay niya ang maestra nakita man niya nga naglipten. Sumoto ang bata ang niyang estudyante nga babae nakakuha siya og attention of awareness sa iyang teacher. Nakuha siya og attention sa paglipten sa iyang maestra. Number two is retention, remembering behavior. The behavior is remembered. The behavior may be noticed, but is not always remembered, which obviously presents initiation. It is important, therefore, that a memory of the behavior is formed to be before performed later by observed in order to reproduce an observed behavior. Again, process is influenced by observer characteristic. So mao to, remembering the behavior. Ang bata, nakinumduman ang bata ug unsay gibuhat sa iyang maestra sa katong pagdiktin sa eskwelahan. Number 3 kay reproduction, ability to replicate, ability to perform the behavior that model has demonstrated. We see much behavior on daily basis that we could like to be able to initiate, but that this not always possible. We are limited by our physical ability and our reason even we wish to reproduce behavior. So mauna to. Ability to replicate. Di ba usahay na atay makita na pasuman sumangil og liptin-liptin sa atubang sa samin, tas nabutang-butang nagsugod og liptin ang bata. So maong ginatawag ability to replicate, ginasundog na niya pahinay-hinay na kung unsaon pagliptin, kung giunsa itong pagliptin sa iyang maestra. So nagsugod na ang bata og kuan, liptin. 4. Motivation, evaluate the behavior. Perform the behavior, the rewards and punishment that follow behavior will be considered at observer. If the perceived rewards outweigh a perceived cost, then the behavior will be more likely to be initiated by the observer if the vicarious reinforcement. Pag uli sa balay, isod sa kwartos ang bata sa iya. Ang bata isod sa kwartos sa ilang balay. Nakita niya ang liptin sa iyang mama. Moto, iyang gikuha. Tapos iyang gigamit, gisundog niya ang maestra sa katong pagliptin sa eskwelahan. That is condition affective diling nakat-on ang bata sa iyang maestra. Ugusay niyang gibuhat sa eskwelahan. Theories and causes of crime is not seen to be important enough to observer, then will be not initiating the behavior, the decision to reproduce or refrain from reproducing the observer behavior. This is dependent on the motivation station of the observer, including anticipated consequences and internal standard. Bandura description of motivation is also fundamentally based on environmental. The social factors, since motivational factors are driven proportional value of different behaviors in a given environment.
Pattern activity theories, developed by Marcus Valens and Lawrence E. Cohen, suggest that crime is inevitable and can be directed by a captive target. It suggests that social causes like poverty, inequalities, and empowerment are not significantly affecting crime. Despite its controversial nature, it is well explained by various types of crime, such as copyright, environment, and corporate crime. Motivate offenders are individuals who are both variables and attractive, making them sociable target for crime activity. So sa ako na ibawan, so routine activity theory nag-suggest or ingon nga ang crime daw kuno dili gyud malikyan, pero ang primary source kay dili ka lisod og pobrihan bisag unsa pala ka controversial kay naay mga damog crime nga corporation mismo or large and rich people mo commit mga kasagaran mo crime, mga dato magkortahan kay magkabusar man sila kay kortahan sila ang ilang pagto mabayaran nilang mga kuan mong ang kasagaran makomit og crime ang mga rich people. So motivated offenders kani sila nga offenders kay dili lang ni siya capable mubuhat og crime, kundi mubuhat ni sila crime nga kay kaya o gusto nila mubuhat ana. So mo na sila kaya nila buhat og crime kay sabi kortahan sila damo sila kapitan na kay mo may kasagaran karon gamog kwarta mo ipalihok nila. So, next, routine activity theory is Marcos level approach that focus on crime patterns and offender behavior. It assumes that crime can be committed by anyone, which the opportunity and the victims and choices and not being victims. The theories individuals three criteria for crime, motivate offenders, sociable target. So, and the absence of capable guardian, it suggests that crime rates are not effective by Marco changes like economic resource and employment. The theory also suggests that personal lifestyle plays a significant role in crime questions. Will it can explain crime and predict individual which the highest likelihood of committing crimes. It does not consider others factors. So
Routine activity theory or RAT, as well known as theory which provides a straightforward explanation of why crimes occur. It can be used as a practical tool by crime reduction prevention practitioners to analyze crime. So meaning ana guys kay kuan kuno kanang it provides straightforward explanation of nganong nahitabo ang crime o para makatabang sa mga practitioners to analyze the crime problem. Rat argues that Rat argues that when a crime occurs, there are three things happen at the same time and the same place. So based on nga theory na ay three three things happen kuno nga mahitabo nga crime kung naa ni nga tulo. So mao ni siya ang suitable target is possible and there is a lack of a suitable guardian and a likely and motivated offender is a present. So for example ana guys kay kana siyang pananglitan kanang walay tao ang tindahan tas naa si motivated offender dayon why lock dito ang kana siyang tindahan ba so nya naa si motivated offender so mo nang mahitabo ang crime. Ang gituohan pod ani nga theory kung naay kuwang ani nga usa kay walay mahitabo nga kana siyang crime. So ta a suitable target is the first condition for a crime is that a suitable target must be available. The word target has been chosen carefully rather than other words such as a victim. Then there are three major categories of a target. Of target. First is a person, second is an object, and third is a place. A person is a human that has certain capacities to attribute such as reason, morality, consciousness, or self-consciousness and being a part of a cultural established form of social relations such as kinship, ownership of property, and responsibility. A person. A person. From the word itself, person is like a human being or kitaba or have capacities or, or attributes reason, morality, consciousness, or self-consciousness. And number two is an object. Anything that is visible or tangible and is relatively stable in form. So object is anything that is visible or tangible is kanang mahikap na to and it's relatively stable in form. And number three is a place, an area with definite or indefinite boundaries, a portion of space. The terms location and place in geography are used to identify a point or an area on the earth's surface or elsewhere. The term location generally implies a higher degree of a certain than place. So from the word itself, place, kay bawo naman tagosan ning place. No, unya. Kanang mao ni siya ang mga lugar nga gipanghitabuan sa crime. And third one is the absence of a capable guardian. The second condition is that the capable guardian whose presence would discourage crime from taking place must be absent. So from the word absence of capable guardian, kanang kung wala ang kanang pananglitan, kung wala ang guardian nagbantay adto, so naay possible, dako kay possible na mahitabo ang crime ana nga lugar. Okay.
A security guard. A security guard, security officer, or detective agent is a private person who is hired to protect the employee party's asset from a variety of hazard by using prevention measures. So, ang security guard is mo na sila patrol, ma-inspect sa private or public building to prevent mga kawat, fire, or mga vandal gikan sa mga tao. Next. Neighborhood Watch Group. A neighborhood watch, also called a crime watch or neighborhood crime watch, is an organized group of civilians devoted to crime and vandalism prevention with a neighborhood. So sila ang mo-empower citizens and communities to become active in emergency preparedness as well as the fight against crime and community disaster. So neighborhood watch group is a door staff, locks fence, lightning alert system, vigilant staff and co-workers, friends and neighbors, closed-circuit television or CCTV system. Some of the guardian are formal or deliberate, likely security guard. Some are informal and inadvertent, such as neighborhood is called possible or guardian to be present but ineffective. For example, a CCTV camera is not capable guardian if it is set up or seated wrongly. Staff might be present in a shop but may not have sufficient training or awareness to be effective deterrent. Likely offenders have many different reasons for committing offense. It is important that you understand what some of these are. The ability to analyze a situation from an offender's point of view will increase your effectiveness as a crime reduction practitioner. The list of possible reasons why people commit offense is potentially endless. Here is the list, some of the main ones broke down under the various categories. This is the list exhaustive. Gain or need. Poverty, to feed drug habit and greed. Society experience environment. Living in a culture where crime is acceptable because of peer pressure, coercion, lack of education, poor employment prospects, family background, mental illness, poor housing, envy as a rebellion against authority. Belief. A belief that crime is in general or particular crimes aren't wrong. As a protest on a matter of principle. Prejudice against certain minority and ethnic group.
Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a philosophical view or theory about how we should evaluate a wide range of things that involve choices the people face. Among the things that can evaluate are action, law, policies, character, and traits, and a moral code. Utilitarianism is a form of consequence because it rests on the idea that is consequence or result, action, law, policies, and etc. that determine whether they are good or bad, and the right and wrong. So bali, utilitarianism is a form of consequence that because of that idea. So bali, nag-determine siya whether they are good or bad, kung maayo ba or dili na imong required. So in general, whatever is being evaluated, we ought to choose the one that will produce the best overall result. And the language of utilitarianism, we should choose the option that maximize utility, an action or policy that produce the largest amount of good. So, also, utilitarianism is one ethical theory which states the best in action is the one that maximizes utility defined in various ways. So, diri ang pagpasabot din niya ang the best daw action na battle is to maximize the utility is defined as the various ways. Ato na ko rin maximize the utility sa kanina pagi the various ways. In terms of well-being or sentence, entitled Jeremy Bentham, the foundation, the founder of utilitarianism described utility as the minus of suffering of anyone involved in action. Utilitarianism is a version or consequentialism, which states that the consequence such as ego sign. Utilitarianism consider all interests or equality. Utilitarianism is one of the best known and the most influential moral theories. Like other forms of consequentialism, its core idea is that whether actions are morally right or wrong depends on their effects. So, bali, utilitarianism daw is one of the best, more portion ang pinakadalas na moral theories. Like sa other forms sa consequentialism, kay naanad siya ka ng whether actions na morally nga right or wrong na depende sa effects. Right or wrong na depende sa iyang epekto. More specifically, the only effects of action that are relevant are good and bad results that they produce. So, bali, that's more specifically nga affects the action that are relevant na kung maayo ba siya or dili mo na siya ang good or bad nga result na produce. And the most important classical utilitarians na si Jeremy Bentham, 1748-1832, and John Stuart Mill, 1806 to 1873. Bentham and Mill were both important theorists and social reformers. So, balik, kaya silang duha, muna sila may important classical utilitarians. Muna si Jeremy Bentham and si John Stuart Mill. So, bali sila duha sa Bentham ug si Mill daw were both important na theorists and the reformers. Their theories had been major impact on both philosophical work and moral theory and on approaches to economic, political, and social policy. Although utilitarianism has always had many critics, there are many 21st century thinkers that they support. So, bali, kaning ilang theories daw had a major impact both on philosophical world and theory. So, bali, naman sila ay kanang daw importante daw kung ayon siya mga theory sa utilitarians. Labi na kay akong 21st century daw, na ako naman yung mga damo itong mga well, mga constantly nga theory kung 21st century thinkers nga nagsuporta. Number 6, differential association theory. Have you ever asked yourself why certain individuals became criminal? So, nakapagpunta na ako sa atong kagalingon, every individuals daw na mahimong kriminal. Differential association theory in crime differential association theory suggests that individuals who commit deviant acts are influenced to do by primary groups and intimate social contact. So, bali, ayun very sa association theory, crime different transaction, every individual daw makakamit daw deviant acts by primary groups and intimate social contacts. The degree of influence one receives from message favoring deviant behavior varies intensity and the priority, frequency, and the duration. An overview of the specific assumptions of differential association theory of deviance is provided, beginning with a general review of the theory. So, bali diri, ang degree daw of the influence mo niya receives from the message from favorite deviant behavior varies intensity, priority, frequency, and the duration. While the a brief summary of key research developments are provided, critics of differential association are highlighted throughout the report, and the further developments of the theory of review.